Hey guys, it's chelseavbrady. Welcome back to my channel. Guys, to like this video so that it helps the YouTube algorithm, definitely subscribe. And I want to get to know you guys, so comment below where you're currently quarantining from. So whichever country you're in, whether you're in Jamaica, you're in Belgium, you're in China, let your girl know in the comment section. I love to hear that. And yeah, let's get right into the video of how I got scammed $5,000 in almost a day. Hey guys, I'm Chelsea. I taught English for 1 year in South Korea, and that was an absolute great experience. If you want to hear or watch my videos about that, I have a Life in Korea playlist linked below. You can definitely check that out. But I taught English in Korea for 1 year and I saved a bunch of money. So when I say I saved a bunch of money, I mean relatively. Like at the time, I was a fresh graduate student. This was my first like big girl job. So it was my first time actually saving like my hard-earned money aside from retail. So at the end of my year, I ended up saving 12,000 Canadian dollars. And again, that might not seem like a lot of money to some people, but that was the most amount of money I have physically saved like ever. So I was super happy. If you guys want a video on how I saved $12,000, that is the year that I learned how to budget. I learned savings. I became a little bit more financially literate. So your girl was like big ballin' at home, had all this newfound cash basically, and she didn't know what to do with herself. Before I left for Korea, I sold my car. The car that I sold was my very first car. I got it in university because I just came back from living across the world in a new country, having a whole new different way of life. And then I come back to Canada, living in my mom's house, having rules, and on top of that, your girl didn't have a car. Like, it was horrible. So the very first thing I did was made sure that I bought a car. I'm sorry, I can't afford a brand new car. I'm not gonna lease a car because I don't believe in buying something you can't afford. Like, people are leasing cars to pay off in like 4 or 5 years, and it's like, what, if you can't afford it in cash at that moment, I don't think you should buy it. But that's just my 2 cents. But anyways, I knew I was gonna buy a used car with some of the cash that I had. My mom actually found a dealership online. This dealership was in Brampton. You guys are probably like, what the hell is Brampton? Honestly, these details aren't really important, but I'm just highlighting Brampton in case it triggers people to think, oh, where did I hear that word? Okay, Brampton, Toronto, Thompson, Tristan, Wasteman, Khloe Kardashian, KKK, like, you know, it's just like a thought process. So red flag right there. Don't trust Brampton things. Moral of the story. So the dealership was in Brampton, and my mom and I go travel down to Brampton, and we go meet the owner of the dealer. We roll up to the dealership. I go look outside in the parking lot because all the cars are parked, and I go and choose my dream car. I had a car before, and I was like, you know what? I really want an SUV. There's something about like an SUV or even a Jeep that was just so attractive to me. I wanted to be in something bigger. I feel more protected, safety, etc. Honestly, I know nothing about cars. I see this Ford Escape, and the only reason why I wanted it is because it has that like little like step, and I guess they're like bicycle like racks on the top. I don't know, it makes it look very sporty and like utility. Probably even using the wrong words. I don't know anything about cars. But I really liked that it had that step, so I had to step up to go into the driver's seat, and I was like, yo, that's so cool, that's badass. Like, I wanted that like Jeep Wrangler type of feel, but I knew I couldn't afford that, so the Ford Escape was just like a perfect mix for me. Your girl was like, okay, that's the one, I'm sold, what's the price tag on it? And then the owner of the dealership, let's call him Krusty, like Krusty the Clown, because you're a freaking clown. So So I call him Krusty. He's working his charm on both me and my mom. So I ask him what the price is. Once you buy a car, you need to get it safetied. And that's just like, it goes through like an emissions test and everything, just making sure that it's safe enough to drive on the road. And you need that safety test in order to get insurance, in order to register your car with the ministry, etc., etc. So I'm like, okay, sick, I'll pay you the money, we'll get it all safetied and everything. Krusty proceeds to tell me how, okay, perfect, he's setting up all the paperwork, he's being super nice and super helpful. I'm sending him 5 e-transfers of $1,000 each. It was probably like my limit at the time or something. And I am putting my full trust in Krusty. This is probably my 3rd time going to Brampton. Krusty proceeds to tell me that he gets all of his cars safetied through another like body shop or another automotive company that was like conveniently like down the road. I'm like, okay, cool. So we go to his referral to get safetied. I leave the car there for a couple of days. They do the whole safety and I pay them their money. They say everything's Gucci. I'm like, okay, sick. I get my dream car. I finally have this Ford Escape. I can ride in style. I just spent $5,000 on it, which is like almost half of my entire year's savings. So it's a large chunk of money. And I was super excited. My mom rode in it. My uncle actually rode in it. Everything felt fine. The mechanic at the referred auto body shop safetied it. It passed the e-test, the e-safety, so I thought that the car was safe to drive. Boy, was I wrong. One day, I'm driving to work. I talked about the job I hated. Rogers, I worked at a call center in my last video. It was horrible. So your girl's driving slow to work because who wants to go to work on time? And I get off the highway, I get onto one of the main roads and I'm making a left turn onto the road of my work, which is actually hidden, not busy at all. It's like a 40 speed limit. So it's a super safe zone. I'm about to make that left turn and all of a sudden I like jerk to the right. I completely am like tilted and my car is on its rims. The passenger side of the car is literally on its rims. The whole entire passenger side wheel, front wheel, popped out of the car as I was driving. And I was like, what the fuck? Not even I was like, what the fuck? I was like scared because it made this huge noise and I'm jerking to the right and I'm wondering what the fuck's happening and I'm like, why is my car like tilted sideways? I was scared I was gonna like roll over. It was just like a hot mess and I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? Like I just got this car, everything should be fine. And then I was thinking, what if I was driving on the highway? My entire passenger side wheel fell out. It popped out. It just came out. I don't understand how. It just, boop, it was just out. So if I was going, say, 120 miles per hour on the 401 on the highway, and the wheel just popped out, you wouldn't see me right now. I was just thinking that and I was so mad. I was scared. I was sad. I was super sad that I had just paid $5,000 on this car that was clearly faulty. And not only that, but I could have died. So obviously, naturally, the first thing that I do is I go and call Krusty. Before this happened, Krusty's and I's communication was perfect. He was answering, we were talking on WhatsApp. I'd call him, he'd answer. So first, I go and I send him a message on WhatsApp and I just tell him what happened. And then I give him a call because I don't like just calling people out of the blue. No answer. Call him again. It's like a disconnected tone. I go to message him again on WhatsApp and then my messages don't even deliver to him. So I'm like, what, Krusty, what is going on? I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt because I was stressing so much and I'm like, okay, He's gonna answer tomorrow. Tomorrow comes. Krusty doesn't answer. Next week comes. Krusty not answer. A month passes. No word from freaking Krusty, and I have this car that's tilting on its side, just parked with no wheel, and like other things that are wrong with it, and I'm just so mad, and I'm out $5,000. This situation, this scam artist didn't take my life, so I'm already winning. But what he's not gonna do is he's not gonna take my money. Like that $5,000, I could not see that just go to waste. So I was like, I need to do something about it. So the first thing I do is I go to the damn dealership in Brampton. Krusty, you can't hide. You might not want to answer your phone, but I know where you work. You can't hide. So we pull up to Krusty's shop, and there's no Krusty. Krusty's office is packed up. All of Krusty's cars that I had previously looked at a few weeks prior were gone. And it was like a completely different family business that had took over this dealership. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? How does this, how is everything changing in the matter of 2 weeks? This makes no sense. Krusty is in the wrong and he's on the run because he knows what he's done. Yo, I have bars for days, but Krusty, man, like, what are you doing? You're stressing out your girl. And I'm like, hey, there was this guy Krusty here a couple weeks ago who sold me this car. Well, I didn't have the car at the time, but he sold me this faulty car, yada, yada, yada. And you know what this poor man tells me? He says, yes, you're about the 10th person this month that has come here looking for Krusty, saying that they almost died on the road after purchasing one of his cars. So he was like, so all I can tell you is to file a police report like I told everyone else. So that's what I did. I filed the police report. The police followed up saying that Krusty had many, not charges against him, but many reports against him. Many people reported him, and basically he was on the run. That the police were looking for him and they couldn't find him. After that whole thing, I was like, I'm a victim of, I don't even know what to call this, not fraud. Yeah, he's a fraud. Like, you're a scammer. I just got scammed. I was just so mad. I literally took it to a junkyard. I didn't do shit. I had so much negative energy attached to it. Like, I almost died. I lost $5,000. I was a victim of a crime. Like, it just had so much bad vibes, bad energy around it. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to pass on that bad energy to someone else. So I decided to take it to a junkyard. They'll tear that shit apart. They'll sell it for parts. It's no longer a bad spirit. It's gone. So if you're wondering, have I heard from Krusty? Nope. 3 years later, haven't heard from Krusty. I'm gonna insert the text messages between Krusty and I so you can actually see proof of me trying to contact this man. And he literally just fell off the face of the earth. Like, how do you do and orchestrate an entire scamming ring and sleep at night? Like, how do you do that? But yeah, that's the story of the time I got scammed. $5,000 and I almost died. If you guys like the story, definitely don't forget to like this comment. That makes no sense. If you guys like the story, don't forget to like this video. Definitely subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting like travel videos, story times, lifestyles, life in Vancouver, modeling, acting, all that good stuff. So if you want to keep up with me, definitely subscribe. The goal is 5,000 subscribers. Right now we're at 3,000. So if you want to be a part of the Chelseology fam, subscribe and join the tribe. I'll see you guys next time.